Today we're going to look at interviewee-interviewer interaction. Specifically, we're going to be following Kellyanne Conway around to her 2 appearances on The View. Before we get started, I want to announce that the first video is up on Patreon. It is about 2 survivors of the satanic cult, one from the UK and one from the USA, and really should not be viewed by younger viewers for the content that it talks about. So let's get started.
Thank you so much for being here. First of all, I want to give credit where credit is due, because I think that I have seen some positive movements in the Trump campaign since you've come on board, and I think a lot of people at home would acknowledge that too, so thank you for that. But I want to get right to it, because in speaking about Monday night, a source within the campaign has said that Trump's failures in that debate were more about execution than preparation. A lot of people want to know, did he lose his nerve in that moment?
I thought he was a complete gentleman to her, and he hasn't gotten a lot of credit for that. At the beginning, he said very graciously, Secretary Clinton, then he...
I like how all of these women here are paying attention and at attention as she speaks. Whereas this individual is leaned back in the chair in a reproachful lean back. It's confrontational and not productive to the harmony of the conversation.
He said, may I call you Secretary Clinton? And she sort of looked, and he said, I want you to be happy. It's very important to me. At the end of the night, after she hit him with some really negative attacks, he said...
Go back real quick. I believe the noise came from either this one or this one. I think it was this one. And it brings her attention straight back over to here as she looks at these 2 ladies. But she does not stop talking. She doesn't lean back and, okay, I need to rethink my strategy. She's already come in with a strategy, and she's not backing down.
He said to her...
See, I'm looking back at you. I'm not breaking what I'm talking about. And you're not pushing me off.
I came here ready to play rough.
Actually, she leaned in a little bit into that.
And say some things about you, but I won't do it because your family's here, but I'd appreciate if you stop running all these negative ads about me. So I don't...
And now we've leaned in with this one to pay attention to what she's doing and to give some communication of, I'm paying attention to you and I'm going to respond to you.
I think he gets credit for restraint, and restraint is a virtue. In fact, it's a presidential virtue. But he did go in there prepared.
I'm talking about policy, though, because I was at home, and I was, in truth, jumping through my television on issues like the Clinton Foundation.
Let's go back and look at that face.
When I was, in truth, jumping through my television on...
I'm looking at you. Let's talk about policy. I was looking at, and I was jumping from my chair. And this is no, you weren't.
Like the Clinton Foundation, on Benghazi, on her
Obamacare,
emails.
you name
So
it.
people are saying there were missed opportunities for him to come back and have responses to that. Where was he in those moments, and will he be there next time?
He will. And he obviously knows all of those issues, had prepared all those issues, Jedediah, but he actually was answering the questions asked of him. And sometimes Mr. Holt was asking the questions, sometimes Hillary Clinton was interjecting with something that had not been asked, and he was answering them literally. But you're right. This election is what it has always been about.
So, if
you're part of the 70%, if you're part
She's actually paying attention and thinking. This
of the 70% of Americans, including women, who have said, I want this country to go in a new and different direction. If you say you want a change, as most Americans do, if you care about the 12...
Whoopi leans back on that one. Give a change, as most Americans do.
As most Americans do. If you care about the 12.9 million women who have no health insurance, the 16.9 million women who are in poverty, then I think the choice is very clear.
Wait a minute, he's only supposed to answer...
Because you just did what he doesn't do. He doesn't give any information. He doesn't say, and I'm glad to see you here. It would have been nice if he had showed up, because I noticed he goes to all the shows where the guys are.
She turned this argument, because she couldn't win on the poverty, she turned this argument into sexism.
How come he didn't come today?
And I'm sure that she understands how this is going.
I'll invite him.
Your husband invited invited on numerous occasions
He's
to do
often
this show.
not in New York because I'll tell you what, but he's
Kellyanne,
often...
honey, I'm a New Yorker. Don't BS a BS.
I'm not BSing. I'm in...
Watch her body movement. That comment threw her back. Don't BS a BSer. But watch as she comes back into it. Can't throw this dog out of the fight. She's back in it. Back in it.
Really,
I would love for him to come to The View,
Is he
but
scared of us because we're
not
women?
at all.
Tell
I
the
think
truth.
so.
no, I want to tell you, he actually said...
That feminine switch back, and then she'll do another feminine thing. She got thrown out. She's back in it. And now she's doing a little feminine role to try and win back some of those women. The feminine wiles work on men and women. There's a reason why women love their little girls.
He actually said hello.
Oh, he did?
And he actually said that when he heard
What
I
else
was
did he
invited
say?
on when I was invited on the show, he said, I hope that
She just gave a nice one-fingered touch to the redhead. It's a reassurance. We're friends. I'm not your enemy. Be on my side. It can be a wide range of things, but its general meaning is reassurance. And for her in this venue, it's a reassurance. I'm not here to attack you. I don't want you to attack me.
you'll do that show. I think that's terrific. I'm sure he's watching or will watch later. But he's on the road every single day. He gave like 40 speeches.
She looks so unhappy. She's got her arms crossed over her. She is... Well, I don't know. I do not watch this show. The only person I know as far as names is Goldberg. And that's just because I've seen her movies when I was little.
In one,
I hear
on
it.
policy.
Believe me, I
He's
have
not
heard
in
him
fundraisers
say
with donors.
nothing on pop.
And I don't want. I hate calling these people liberal because they're not liberals. The definition of liberal is not them. They've hijacked a term that does not describe them. This is a bully tactic. She's speaking. This is in a situation. This is your guest. You do not bully a guest. And she's speaking over her. She's being confrontational to her. But she's also yielding because she keeps looking down. She won't make direct eye contact with Conway. And that is why she is able to stay in this fight. This goes on and on right here. And it's making her uncomfortable. You see this little movement right here. Fidgeting. Leaning down. She's looking down. She's not backing down. And the fact that Conway is not backing down is what is making this one uncomfortable. Because as this goes on, you'll find out that these three are in attack mode. And these two are sideline spectators. And the two biggest bullies, she's the leader of this pack. Because she won't be told to be quiet. She gets her way by talking over everyone. And this is her cheerleader. And this is a follower. And this young woman isn't backing down.
Policy, Kellyanne, and you know he has been very vague.
That's
Listen,
not fair. Whoopi, it's not fair. He's out there every single day. No, sorry.
I'm out here every day, but I have to say something.
See, the whole time she wouldn't look at her while she said it. She's looking out at the audience to look for the audience to give her the backup that she wants. She would not look at the person she's confrontation with to win her over. She's looking to win the audience.
And he says nothing. He goes out, he says, we're going to make America
Still does not look at Conway.
great again. He doesn't tell you how. He says all these people are bad.
Looking out at the audience yet again. Still will not look at Conway. And she's still in her, I'm uncomfortable because this confrontation, my strong woman, Lady in Purple, this is supposed to be the leader of this three's pack. And Whoopi is bowing to Conway in the sense of she won't aggressively confront her. She'd rather win the audience than to confront Conway and win the argument.
And this is what's going on, but I'm not going to tell you why they're bad.
Now, if I may respectfully disagree. He's out there every day. You can see it because it's all televised.
I hate it when people do that. It's such a sign of disrespect and totally closing off. There is no listening to an argument. She's not listening to learn or to engage. She's just listening to respond.
Or it's on YouTube. You can pull the clips. 10-point plan to reform the Veterans Administration. 5-point plan to give middle-class tax relief. A new child care tax credit that Republicans...
Where was it Monday?
And she still will not look at Conway. It's also very cowardly.
Where was it Monday night? Why didn't he, all the things that you're
now we're
talking about
looking
are
at her.
great.
I remember.
Why weren't they present?
And you will hear more about it. And I agree with you. I agree with all of you that there is so much to...
She just said, I agree with you. I agree with all of you. And she turns her body and is pointing at all the ladies, trying to drag in all of them, even the ones to her left that have been very quiet. She is trying to win the ladies over, and she is not engaging the audience like Goldberg is in a confrontation. Goldberg only looks to the audience, who is considered the weak, whereas she is confronting the strong to win them.
be held to account on Hillary Clinton's record.
No,
She
no,
said she's...
no, we're talking about Donald.
Well, it's a debate.
We're talking about Donald, baby.
I know, we want this election to be about him.
Don't bring up Hillary, because she'll lose that argument.
We talk about things that we're going to hear more about, and the fact that he did leave a lot of things on the table there, but yet even after the debate, he said, I wanted to say I got out everything except for the transgressions of Bill Clinton. He says he didn't go there because of the respect that he has for Chelsea Clinton.
Purple Lady, the follower, is now backing up her supposed leader next to her. I like how she gets her strength from her leader. She's leaning very heavily into Goldberg, and she's not leaning towards her intended target.
But are you advising him to go there? Is that fair
And
game?
is it relevant, really?
But is it fair game?
I'm
What
not,
does he have to gain?
I'm not advising him to go there. It's fair game to think about how Hillary Clinton treated those women after the fact. She called Monica
Not like
Lewinsky
how he treats
a
women
loony
all
tune.
the
Hold on,
time.
but that's
Okay.
talked about
And of course, she talks over her again and makes it a joke.
all the time, Whoopi. That's on this show constantly. To answer your question,
She did a lean in with her shoulder, purposely pointing her shoulder at like a finger towards the person that she's speaking to. She just cut off Goldberg. I'm ignoring you. I'm not even going to engage you. And I'm not even going to give you the decency to even look at you. She's made what Goldberg said irrelevant. It's a very disrespectful gesture. And she's doing it purposely to Goldberg to shut her down.
it's really what's a treatment of women. I can tell you the thing about Donald Trump that I hope you would all give credence to is he is surrounded by strong women. He has employed thousands and thousands of women over
But let
the
me
years.
ask you something about Hillary.
And
Wouldn't
they
you-
get promoted.
Kellyanne, come on.
I'm the first campaign
Wouldn't you
manager for a
turn-
Republican presidential
wouldn't you
candidate.
turn on the women if your husband was cheating on you? You'd turn on them too, wouldn't you?
And now she's going to justify the cheerleader for Goldberg, because the pecking order from highest to lowest: Goldberg, redhead, and purple lady. Why is she not considered a follower? Because she brings up points that complement the leader, whereas the follower, purple lady, just reiterates what the leader and the cheerleader say.
No, I would.
I
No,
would.
I would
Never
leave
had
him
the
though.
experience, right? Yours was never
Well,
cute,
my
so-
mother did.
But
My
you
mother
did.
had that
Did she
experience,
tell
and
us
she
about
left.
that?
No, and she loved my mother. You know,
All right, that's enough of this particular one. This is, obviously it's The View again, but it's the most recent one of November. We're going to look at this one as a comeback. and their interactions.
Please welcome back Donald Trump's campaign manager, Kellyanne Conway.
Right off the bat, I want you to watch her facial expressions towards Goldberg.
Thank you so much for coming back and joining us. So much to talk about.
Had fun last time?
You had the blast.
Fabulous.
It's gonna be even better this time.
That little wink, and she held that wink and winked at Goldberg and what was previously the purple lady.
I want to start with some of these latest polls now that have...
Who I now realize is the blue lady. Henceforth shall be known as Blue Lady.
the election so tight. They're really neck and neck. Given this change of events recently, do you look back on Donald Trump's statements that the election might have been rigged and say, maybe not so much?
What we look at is that so many people should not have been getting their inaugural ball gowns and popping the champagne corks prematurely, because you have to respect people. You have to give the American people a chance to exercise their choice and express their voice. And I think...
I also want to look at the seating arrangement this time. And of course, she's back to her lean back attitude. She has the leader, the follower, and then herself, and then the cheerleader on the other side, and then the one that was quiet the last time furthest away from her again. So in this one, she is surrounded on both sides.
Starting 2 weeks ago, when you have a lot of people in the media saying the election is over, Donald Trump can't win.
I also want you to notice too how she's got her arm, and it's a pushback. She's put up a barrier between Conway and herself, and she's just sitting straight up this time. Remember the fight that happened the last time between these two, and she shut her down. She never actually really recovered from that, and which is why it turned into a screaming match later. But if you want to watch the whole thing, look in the description box.
He has no path. People tend to snap back and say, that's not really fair. I am going to vote for him. And I think Hillary Clinton got...
You know, and she is so much more open to her. And that's why follower mentalities are really people you do not want around unless you need them to be a follower, because they will change their belief system and their look on life with the flip of a hat. Whereas the leader and the cheerleader are standing firm in their belief system.
A little too comfortable, was waiting out her lead, and now we're forcing her back in Michigan. She'll be there this weekend, a state that hasn't gone Republican since 1988. Tim Kaine was in Wisconsin yesterday, a state that hasn't gone Republican since 1984. And we're loving the ABC News poll. It's our favorite poll because it shows 60% of Americans are unfavorable. Never me.
Didn't you?
Never me.
I mean,
Never me, never me. She's turned this into a joke. She came in here with a plan. Kudos to her. And she still leaned back even as she confronts her. And at least at this time, her argument that she has, she's confronting her face on.
Nope, I would never say that. I own a place called the Polling Company. It's been my business for 21
years. Your man said for a while that the polls are... I'm just saying
we
that's
love
what
the
he
ABC
said.
poll,
Suddenly,
especially the
and
one
you
that
love
says
the media now, too, yes?
Well, I've always been pro-media. Here I am. But 60%...
you did know... You remember he said we were all crooked.
60... Not all.
No, he said...
She's starting to lose.
Your man said for a while that the polls are... I'm just saying that's what he said.
We love the ABC poll,
Suddenly,
especially the
and
one
you
that
love
says...
She's giving her good eye contact. She's not giving her good eye contact. But then she starts to waver on her.
Media now, too, yes?
Well, I've always been pro-media. Here I am.
She didn't look at her. I've always been pro-media, and she didn't look at her. Obviously, that's not a complete truth-telling, but...
But you did know, you remember he said we were all crooked.
60, not all.
No, he said
not
the
all,
media is...
Not all, but according to the latest polling...
What have you been watching?
10 to 1. I watch everything.
He said the media is crooked, the polls are crooked, everything was crooked, and now he's doing better because they're neck and neck. I just am wondering, Will it be crooked again if it goes, if he slips
And she's
in
not
the
looking at her.
Are we back to crooked?
No, what
And
I think
she's
you
back
need
to
do
being
is
uncomfortable.
Get ready for a Chiron that says President-elect Donald J. Get ready for a Chiron that says President-elect.
Again, if it goes, if he slips in the polls.
See how she's got her arms braced out in front of her? She's put a barrier between Conway and Goldberg. That's that weak mind again of a follower. And she still has her barrier to Conway.
Are we back to crooked?
No, what I think you need to do is get ready for a Chiron that says President-elect Donald J. Trump. And
Well,
I'll tell you what,
listen,
he told me to
anything is
tell
possible.
you that
This
he'll
is
come on
America.
your show as soon
I
as
don't
he's
care if
elected.
he ever comes back on this show myself.
excited.
But
Wow.
but I've been very clear about that. I've been very clear
She can't look at her. Again, I've been very clear about that.
about
Well, we
that
asked him
because
that. He doesn't
we've
want to
asked him, and also he's been very nasty about people I care about.
Let me tell you what's nasty.
Yes.
Nasty is Hillary Clinton's endless.
No.
Excuse me.
We're
Oh,
talking
no.
about you. We're
Okay.
talking to
Well,
you.
then let me.
Let me tell you something that's nasty. Nasty is Hillary Clinton, and then Goldberg starts the yelling over her. And what does she do? Oh, okay. Turns her body towards the audience and puts her arms in this position.
Now when I can talk.
And this.
And gives a snide remark. Let me know when I can talk. Now she's got her arms. Oh, just the weak minds of a follower. Fiddling fingers. And she's leaned back, enjoying the show. Because the cheerleader is going to cheerlead on her leader.
The two
But
of them
let
are
the
running
other
for
ladies
president.
talk.
The two
Let me
of them.
shut up because the
The
other
two of
ladies
them are
have
running
stuff
for
to ask.
president.
It's okay.
The two
Go
of them
ahead,
running for
baby.
president. There
Go
are
ahead.
tens of millions
We're
of
going.
dollars in negative advertising as
Paula,
I sit here
you got something to say?
from Hillary Clinton.
You got something to say, Paul?
So
And now she's telling the follower to engage her to shut her down.
there's no doubt that you guys were the beneficiary of an October surprise. 12 days before the election, James Comey, the FBI director, basically drops his bombshell that he's going to be looking back and basically reopen.
With that being said, I just now realized, you got something to say? You got something to say? They're so scripted in their attack now, it's becoming very obvious, the question that they've got set up. And apparently she was set up for this question. Do not ever think that these bullies are stupid. They're very intelligent. They do have attack plans. It is not their inability to carry out a plan. It is their ability to make a plan that encompasses all scenarios. They always think that they have the path of most righteousness, which means that their plan will work, because on the moral high ground, you always win. Unfortunately, they do not have the moral high ground, which is why they always lose in the end.
Putting the investigation into Hillary Clinton. I know there's been calls on both sides for transparency, but what do you guys ultimately want to see?
From that,
Yes.
whatever the FBI feels that they need to do. Obviously, we all read the same reports. There are 650,000 emails that should have been turned over. Some of them, maybe the 33,000 that she deleted after setting up an illegal server and bleach binning them. There's obviously something she's trying to hide. I mean, all 650,000 can't be of
She's still getting her strength for Goldberg.
Anthony Weiner taking pictures of himself and texting it to a 15-year-old girl in North Carolina. Who knows what's in there? I don't know what's in there. Donald Trump doesn't know what's in there. But we respect the FBI wanting to reopen this investigation. Look, we're having this entire conversation today, not because of Jim Comey, not because of the FBI, not even because of emails, because of Hillary Clinton. She decided to flout the law.
Follow-up to that. Isn't the first email glitch it's not the first email glitch in D.C. George W. Bush's White House reportedly lost 22 million emails, and there was no big investigation. And they have been going through the email and going through the email, so...
And of course, they've done their research. She's going to bring up George Bush and 22 million emails. If you've paid attention to Donald Trump at all, he is not a Republican. He may fit in that camp better than he fits in a Democratic camp, but he's not a Republican. And to throw him in the mix with George Bush, which is why she gave the look she did, Conway, was so irritating to her.
Why do you think suddenly we're back to the email?
It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the FBI thinks. And apparently they...
No, but I was asking you because you're here.
What?
There she is. She lost that last fight. She is not going to lose this fight. She's going to stare her down and make. She's not going to engage the audience this time.
Do I think?
Yeah.
I think we're doing that. I think they're doing this because they must have seen something pretty serious. Remember, this was an...
And because she is not yielding to the audience, Conway is. Conway is now engaging Goldberg and the audience. Tactically, it makes sense. Just as long as she keeps looking back at Goldberg with that intent look of I'm not backing down, she wins the argument.
Investigation about Anthony Weiner.
And she brings her stare back into it. So she's saying, I'm engaging you, but I'm engaging the audience. And I'm engaging you, I'm not backing down. I'm engaging the audience because I know I have the higher ground.
Because she's sexting someone's 15-year-old daughter.
Right, but what does that have to do with Hillary Clinton?
That's what the investigation is about, Whoopi.
There you go. She's not backing down.
It's not about Hillary Clinton.
Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is.
About Hillary Clinton. If it's Anthony Weiner sexting some 15-year-old girl, why is Hillary Clinton
because his
responsible?
wife just happens to be Hillary Clinton's, quote, surrogate
So
daughter.
then why not look at her?
They share a laptop. This is what it's all about.
Who shares a laptop?
Apparently Anthony Weiner and who does share a laptop.
To the layman, someone who is not informed, who shares a laptop? She is forcing, Goldberg is forcing Conway to sit there and go through facts. And I honestly don't know what Goldberg was thinking, because all she's doing is letting more of the story out of how close the ties are between Weiner and Huma and Hillary. That would work if they were ignorant on the subject and she didn't know. And I'm speaking about Conway. But unfortunately, Goldberg didn't calculate good enough that Conway would know all the details.
Yeah.
Get up right before the election. He
Ask
could have
Jim
waited.
Comey.
I know.
Well, no, the
He's
reason
in a
he
lot
did
of
it-
trouble because of that.
No, he's not. Hillary
And the
Clinton thought
FBI
he
is
was
a
wonderful.
nonpartisan
He
government
was a
organization.
profile and courage. Now they're
Allegedly.
attacking him. I think attacking FBI Director Comey by Hillary is a very desperate strategy. This is someone who's never had a plan B. She wasn't anticipating a tightening in the polls.
Kelly,
looks
let me
suspicious.
Let me shift over. Hillary Clinton recently released an ad about women. I think that the target market is women. I want to show you just a bit of that ad, and I want to get your response to it.
We've seen her before, yes. It's so not the Democratic Party I grew up in. I mean, there's no aspirational, uplifting message at all from Hillary Clinton. Her
Unlike
entire
him.
campaign,
Oh my God.
her entire campaign is about Donald.
And of course, now they're laughing at her. The bully and the cheerleader. And the follower is lost.
Trump. That's just true. Because you know what, folks? She can't own the fact. She should be made to own the fact that we have 15% of Americans in poverty, overwhelmingly female. We have 60 million women without health insurance.
And
I mean,
what is
the
he-
idea.
yeah, what's he gonna do
Well,
about
no, but
that?
this is her.
You notice she brings that up again. She brought it in the first show, and now she's bringing it up again about the poverty situation. And instead of discounting that, she's going to engage her on what is he going to do about it.
Entire campaign. Her entire campaign.
And she has decided not to look at Goldberg.
But what is he going to do?
Where's the
What is he
Barack
gonna do with
Obama, Bill
the-
Clinton
Oh, there it
aspirational
is.
message?
Where is the Barack Obama aspirational
Yes, where
message?
is it? She
Anybody
doesn't
can
have
be
it.
president. That's the aspirational
Yeah, but it's not
message.
her message. She
You
has
said Barack
no
Obama.
message. She has no
You
message.
said any woman can be
Because
president. But what is he going to do? Because he has talked about taking what they call Obamacare, the Kennedy care, taking health care away. What is he going to replace it
No,
with, and
he
how
didn't
is
say
he
that.
going?
Well, he said he's going to replace it with free market
That's what I'm
healthcare.
asking. He said he was going to replace it with what? And I'm asking
Well,
what
he used to be
is
for
he gonna-
single payer. Is he still into
No,
that?
he's not. He's for, no, he isn't.
So-
Look, Obamacare
No.
premiums
What
are
is he-
rising.
What is he going to do?
He gave
I
a big
just wanna
speech
know
about
what
it
he's going to
yesterday in
do.
Valley Forge.
Yeah, but I
laid it all
missed
out.
it. What is he going to do?
It was at the same time as The View, actually.
Yeah,
He was
well,
there.
I missed
so he'll do a couple things. First of all, you can buy health insurance over state lines the way you can buy car insurance. Currently, you can't do that.
Make it competitive.
Make it competitive across state lines. So you as a consumer would be the way you would buy any other product or service in your life would apply to your health insurance section. We're going to block grant Medicaid to the states so that they have more control over that for the people who live within their states and need it. He also has something called health savings accounts, which means you own it like any other savings account. It has your name on it. The money accrues over time, and you decide how to purchase your own health care. Very free market. So he has a plan.
We have to go. That's what the face is.
We're going right back. We'll be right back. We have more questions for you.
Yeah.
We're right back with Kellyanne Conway.
Sorry.
Thank you.
All right, we're done with that too. This is round 2, and let's just skip to the end and see who wins.
And he's talked about what that
outrageous.
means. He doesn't mean that he's going to go and use them. And first of all, this nation has many people
I like
in
you.
charge of
I
them.
like
Well,
you.
thank you.
But
I like you too.
I think that right here you
We saw that now she's touching her for reassurance. I like you. I mean that. I like you.
being delusional.
No, I'm not. I'm not being delusional. I really do. I'm being perfectly calm.
But you see how she looks down at her hands. She's not opened up to her, which is, she notices.
You know, she's a nice Italian girl. This is a nice
And she's
Italian
trying to
girl.
pull away from her.
But she scares
Thank you.
me when she thinks
Hands
that.
I'll tell you what
closed.
scares me. I'll tell you what scares me.
And now she, the follower, is now leading into Conway. This one is out in left field. Not very happy how this is going. So who won and who lost? Conway won.
I'll tell you what scares me, though. What scares me is the fact that Hillary Clinton always puts Hillary first. It does. It scares me. Guys, you want her to be the President of the United States, and you should look at her entire record. You should see what she's done.
You see, even though she's talking about Hillary Clinton, the cheerleader doesn't have the bar up. She does not have a boundary up towards what she's saying anymore. In other words, it's not that she agrees with what she's saying. It's she was very serious when she said, I like you. And she's touching her, the reassurance. I really do like you. She just doesn't agree with her.
In office as commander-in-chief.
We
She
know
owns the
her.
Russia reset. She owns Syria. She owns Libya. She owns the Middle East. She has not proven herself to be fit or qualified to be commander-in-chief.
The opposite side of this argument is also that I think some of his appeal is the talk toughness that he has. That,
Well, we'd
you
like
know,
a tough leader, yes.
I'm less afraid of rhetoric. I'm more afraid of terrorism.
We would like-
So I think that there is an appeal to
See how she keeps this arm up pretty much a very long time.
someone who
Which is on
willing
the
to
rise.
tackle that.
Yes. It's on the rise. I want to say something about his supporters. I want to say something about
And
his
now
supporters.
it's
You
back.
mentioned earlier the one supporter in Arizona who I'm told by our head of security and a retired police department official
she's
from
straight up and
Arizona
open to her.
was removed from that rally. I immediately condemned.
Well, I was going to add more, but this is becoming a very long video. So we're going to cut it off here. If you liked the whole thing of me just letting it play and talk it out as we go, please comment about it. If not, I'll just go back to the cutting the hell out of it and just showing what I want to show. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, like it. If you liked the content, please subscribe.